And the Dodgers, they have one objective: become the first team since the 1999 Yankees to repeat as World Series champions. Along the way, Los Angeles will be trying to win the NL West for the 9th straight season. They had some notable offseason moves. So you ask, can they do it? Well, they dominated last year. They added last year's Cy Young winner Trevor Bauer to the fold. They acquired veteran reliever Corey Knebel from the Brewers, re-signed Justin Turner. David Price, who opted out of that 2020 season to be with his family during the pandemic, is back. So yes, it is entirely possible that they will get that done. So to get us set for the 2021 season, we're joined by former World Series champs. We got Jim Bowden and Will Middlebrooks. Fellas, we're starting in the NL. We're going to look at win totals. So each team's assigned a calculated number. That number is based on rigorous data that is put forth through projections. And you guys are here to tell us if the over or the under will hit. So Jim, when looking at the National League, what teams and totals stick out to you?
Jenny, I'm going to start with the Milwaukee Brewers. The over-under is 83. I'm going to take the over here for the Milwaukee Brewers. Look, they've got two elite starters at the top of the rotation in Brandon Woodruff and Corbin Burns, and two of the best relievers in the game in Josh Hader and Devin Williams in the back end. Those are really strong bookends for this team. Defensively, this is one of the best defensive teams actually in baseball for 2021 after they picked up Colton Wong to play second base and Jackie Bradley Jr. to join Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich in the outfield, all three Gold Glove caliber outfielders. So I think the Brewers are more of an 86 to 88 win team. Let's go to the Miami Marlins in South Florida. The over-under is 73.5. I'm going to take the over. Now, I don't think they're going to get to 500, but I do think this is a 76 to 77 win type of team. Why? Because their rotation's actually one of the best rotations in the league, led by Sandy Alcantara, rookie Sixto Sanchez, Pablo Lopez, Trevor Rogers. I mean, this is deep, and I didn't even mention Hernandez. So they're 5 deep there, and they're in a division where everyone's going to beat each other up in the National League East. So I like the over here. As I said, I don't think they get to 500, but they'll win more than 73.5. And finally, I know Mets fans aren't going to like this, but I'm going to take the under 90 wins here. And let me tell you why. Number one, half of their lineup are below average defenders, right? They're below average defense in center field, left field, third base, and first base, 50%. Number two, they start the year with both Noah Syndergaard and Carlos Carrasco on the injured list. We don't know when they're going to come back. We don't know how effective they're going to be. And finally, the most important reason is this. All 5 teams in the NL East are competitive and strong, and they've got to play each team 18 times. That's 18 times against the Braves rotation, the Nationals rotations, the Phillies, and the Marlins. It is not going to be easy, and they're going to beat each other up. So I'm taking the under 90 for the Mets.
All right, and I gotta start with the reigning champs, the Dodgers. 103.5 seems high, might scare a lot of people off that number. I'm going over, and I'm going way over. Why? Because they were on pace for 116 last year. Basically the same team, but they add in David Price, Cy Young winner, Trevor Bauer. They somehow got better, which is a joke to me. If they're healthy, they're gonna win close to 110 games. And then the poor Padres in the same division. I say the poor Padres, they're gonna win 95 plus. I've got them going over as well. And they're gonna finish in second place. That's a joke for a wild card team. They brought in Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Mark Melancon. They just got better and better and better. They had a checklist in the offseason, and they just kept checking off the mark. And then I'm going to go to the team. Jim talked about the Brewers and how well he thought they were going to do. I think they do well too, but they're going to be in a dogfight with the St. Louis Cardinals. 85.5. I got them going over. It's going to be a fight for that division. Jack Flaherty brought on Arenado from Colorado. Shout out to the Rockies for paying his salary this year to play for the Cardinals.
Well, you just said it there. The Dodgers, they've been on fire the last few years. You're expecting the over here. But the question is, do you guys have them winning the division? As you mentioned, well, the Padres made some key off-season additions as well. So let's break down each National League division. Give me your winners, and who do you think wins the NL as a whole? Jim, we'll start with you.
All right, I've got the Atlanta Braves winning the East once again. I love the trio of pitchers at the top of the rotation: Max Fried, Ian Anderson, and Mike Soroka. They bring in Charlie Morton and Drew Smyly, and they have depth in their farm system if there's injuries. I love the lineup, I'm sorry, but Acuna and Albies and Freeman and Ozuna and Swanson, they're gonna do damage. They have speed, they're the best defensive team in the division as well. So I like the Braves slightly over the Nationals, Mets, Phillies, and Marlins. Go to the Central Division. I agree with Will Middlebrooks there. St. Louis is going to win this division by a couple of games over Milwaukee. Look, adding Arenado and Goldschmidt together on the corners is special. I think Dylan Carlson will be a Rookie of the Year candidate playing center field for them. I do think they need to go out and get another bat if they're going to win the division, but I trust that John Mozeliak will get an outfield bat between now and the trade deadline to do that. And in the West, it's easy for me because I'm with Will on the over with the Dodgers. This is the best team in the sport. I'm predicting them to win the National League and win the division. And look, do I love the Padres? Absolutely. I think they get in as a wild card, as do the Nationals. But I've got the Braves, Cardinals, Dodgers, and the Dodgers winning the National League.
All right, now starting with the East for me, I'm going against Jim here. And that's about the only spot I'll go against him. I like the Mets. I like Stevie Cohen. I like the culture change. He came in, put the hammer down and said, it's not your mom and pop's Mets anymore. We're gonna go out and get players. We're gonna win. They got better offensively with Lindor. They went and got Taijuan Walker. They got Aaron Loop and Trevor May in the bullpen. I really like this team. It's gonna be a tough division. I get that. They're gonna beat each other up, as Jim said. But I think the Mets come out, squeak one out over the Braves to win the division. Now move to the Central. I do like the Cardinals. I like what they've been doing. I think it's a weaker division this year. The Brewers are going to be very good. They are. They have 1-2 punch with Woodruff and Burns. They have a couple good arms in the bullpen, but I just think the Cardinals are the more complete team and end up getting the job done by a game or two. Moving out west, yes, the Dodgers. No one is better than them. They go out, they spend the money. They don't care about the luxury tax. They went about 20-30 million over. They don't care. They're going to go get the best players and they're going to build a dream team, and that's what they've done.
So you guys agree with the Cards and the Dodgers in the NL. We're going to talk about MVP now. So last year in the shortened 60-game season, Freddie Freeman, he won easily. It was a great story to follow. He collected 28 of 30 first place votes. So Jim, who takes the NL honor this year?
This is going to be the best race of all the awards for me because the Dodgers have 3 candidates in Betts and Bellinger and Corey Seager. You've got Yelich, you've got Harper, you've got Freeman. But you know who I'm going with? It's his time to shine, baby. I'm going Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. I'll tell you, I think 40 homers and 40 steals is realistic. And I know he wants to be the first 50-50 player in baseball history. And I don't doubt he'll get there someday. But this is a guy that's going to help the Braves win the division. He's a plus defender. He's got great range, hits for average, hits for power, plays with energy, enthusiasm. He's a swagmeister, no doubt about it. And I've got him winning the MVP here in the National League.
And I'm going a little more of a value pick. I'm going out west to the Dodgers, plus 1,300, Corey Seager. Hit 307, 15, 41 last year in a shortened season. Great numbers for a shortstop. MVP of the World Series, hit 328 with 8 homers, 20 RBIs in the postseason. Now you look at spring training, he's tearing it up again. 7 homers, hitting almost 330. Why am I telling you these numbers? Because he wasn't just hot last year, he's this good. And this is a value pick. Go make a little money here. Take Corey Seager.
Both great picks, and I have to use the word swagmeister in my day at some point because, Jim, that's fantastic. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the Cy Young. So last year it was Trevor Bauer, who was a member of the Cincinnati Reds, obviously now with the Dodgers. Jim, who will be the best pitcher in the NL in 2021?
Yeah, this one's not even debatable for me. It's Jacob deGrom, and I don't want to hear another name. I'm sorry. This will be his 3rd Cy Young. He's got a career ERA of 2.61. This guy has dominant stuff. He's 98th percentile in strikeout rate. He's in the 100th percentile in fastball velocity. He's throwing over 100 miles an hour this spring. That breaking ball's unhittable. Look how late that break is. Nobody can hit that. You can tell it's coming, and no one's going to hit that pitch. He is absolutely, his command and control, I grade 80 for both on a scouting scale of 20 to 80. DeGrom wins his 3rd.
Hey, Jim, I actually have a knock, maybe 2 knocks off DeGrom. It's not a big deal. It is possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's why, now I do agree DeGrom's the best pitcher in baseball, and he has been for a while, but I'm going to go with Blake Snell. 20 to 1 odds. It's a good value pick. Sprinkle a little on it. Maybe you hit. Maybe it was good scenery change for him to get out of Tampa Bay. The analytical umbrella he was under, not getting past the 5th inning because they wanted to get that bullpen in the game in a shortened season. I think he was fed up with that and ready to get out. He's going to be around Yu Darvish, Lamet, other great pitchers to talk baseball better and grow as a pitcher. I really think he has a great season out in San Diego.
Well, don't sell yourself short there with DeGrom. Now, Jim said he didn't want to hear anyone else's name, but obviously you went in a different direction. What makes DeGrom so special, though, Will?
Oh, man. Well, number one, he sits at 100. Not many guys do that. You're seeing upper 90s consistently, but 100 with 3+ pitches, the changeup, the slider. The ball comes out in the same tunnel. As a hitter, we use what's called tunnels, and pitchers use as well. The balls come out in the same spot. If you follow a guy named Pitching Ninja on Twitter, he breaks it down, he does overlays, and it shows when pitches break different directions and what point in between the mound and the plate in which it does. Jacob deGrom's pitches are all right there together till about 10 feet from the plate, and they just scatter. That's what makes them tough.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Sit tight. We're going to break down the American League next, so don't go anywhere. Tampa Bay looking to defend their first American League championship since 2008. 2021 will mark the 24th season in Rays history with the goal to win the club's first World Series title. Manager Kevin Cash will be entering his 7th year at the helm, and after an all-around quiet winter for the Rays, they aren't lacking depth or talent, but they'll need some offensive production if they expect to run at another title. So since losing to the Dodgers in the World Series, the Rays have parted ways with 2 of their top 3 starting pitchers in Blake Snell and Charlie Morton. They also traded Nate Lowe. They re-signed catcher Mike Zunino. They gave out a handful of one-year deals to veteran starters like Rich Hill, Chris Archer, and Michael Wacha. But will they be able to defend their AL title? Well, getting us set for the 2021 season, let's welcome back our former World Series champs, Jim Bowden and Will Middlebrooks. All right, guys, time to break down the American League, and we're going to start with win totals. So, Jim, when you look at the AL, what over-unders do you like?
Jenny, I'm going to start right there with Tampa Bay because I like the under at 87.5. Look, this offseason, they lost their 2 best starters in Blake Snell and Charlie Morton. And sure, they've got Tyler Glasnow to ace that staff, but after him, you got Yarbrough. And then the 3 acquisition veteran guys like Hill and Archer and Wacha. Archer's velocity is not back. Hill's not a guy that can go through the lineup more than twice. And they lost their best reliever in Nick Anderson. He's out with a slight tear of the ulnar collateral ligament. They're not expecting him back for months. So I really worry about this pitching staff, especially when you're playing teams like the Yankees and Blue Jays and Red Sox who still have dynamite lineups there to pound the ball. So I'm going to go under 87.5 for Tampa Bay. Let's go to the Central Division and the Kansas City Royals. The over-under is 73. I'm going over. There are people that are sleeping on the Royals. In fact, I've got them finishing in 3rd place ahead of the Indians. That's right. I like their offseason acquisitions of Carlos Santana and Andrew Benintendi. I think Mondesi has his breakout year, and I think a big story starting in May will be when they make the phone call to the minors and they bring up rookie Bobby Witt Jr., who I think will end up being Rookie of the Year. This kid is absolutely dynamic, one of the best prospects in baseball. And they've got so many good young starting pitchers that are on the cusp of the big leagues and will arrive starting probably in June or July. Take the over 73 here. And then finally, let's look at the Los Angeles Angels. People are sleeping on them. Shohei Ohtani's healthy. That means they've got a #1 type starter. Shohei Ohtani is healthy. That means they have another middle-of-the-order lineup impact bat with Rendon and Trout. What does that mean? Pitchers cannot pitch around any of those 3 because you have to deal with all of them. Take the over 83 for the Angels.
I got to start with the Houston Astros, 88. I'm taking the over there. Yeah, they're not going to have Justin Verlander. I think their pitching is going to be fine. We saw that in the postseason last year. After a under 500 regular season in a shortened 60-game season, they played well and got really close to getting back to a World Series. But I really like this offense. A lot of talent there, a lot of experience there. They get Yordan Alvarez back, 2019 Rookie of the Year. Offense will absolutely mash, pound the over on that. It's a weakened division. The Rangers and the Mariners will be lucky to win 70 games. Now I'm moving over to my Boston Red Sox, 78.5. I'm taking the over. I think they're going to be a lot better than people think. Now they get when will they get Chris Sale back? How will he be coming back off the Tommy John? Garrett Richards led the league in spin rate last year. Expecting him to have a good year. Eddie Rodriguez coming back from the dead arm the past couple weeks. I think he'll be just fine and have a great year as well. Take the over there with the Red Sox. And then I grew up a Texas Rangers fan, 66.5. Yeah, I gotta take the under here. Gotta take the under. They're just rebuilding. They're in a bad place. I think the race to follow with the Rangers, will Joey Gallo's number of home runs be greater than the amount of team wins?
Ouch there, Will. That's harsh. The team that you grew up watching too. Rough. All right, let's break down each American League division. Give me your winners. Who do you think is going to win the AL as a whole? Jim, we'll start with you.
I'm going to take the Yankees over the Blue Jays in the AL East, but I am nervous after Garrett Cole in the rotation. Kluber didn't look great yesterday. Tyone already has been pushed back with his start, and I don't know how this rotation is going to end up playing out, but I still think they're going to win the division. And I think if Brian Cashman needs to go make a trade and get a Luis Castillo from Cincinnati at the trade deadline, I think he'll do that. I've got the Yankees winning, Blue Jays getting a wild card spot. In the Central Division, I was going to go with the Chicago White Sox. And normally when there's one injury, it doesn't change where I predict a team. But this year's going to be different. I thought Eloy Jimenez was going to be a legitimate MVP candidate this year in the American League. I was picturing 300 with 35 homers and 120 RBIs. And now he is done maybe for the season. That is a big blow, I think, for this team. I love the White Sox. I got them getting into the playoffs as a wild card team, but I've got the Minnesota Twins winning this division once again. This is a solid team from start to bottom. Josh Donaldson is healthy. He and Nelson Cruz will do the damage in the middle. And I know I've said this every year for 3 years and have been wrong, but Byron Buxton will finally have that breakout year. Maybe. And in the West, I'm going to take the Houston Astros. I like the rotation more than people do. I really do. Even with Verlander out for the year, even with Greinke another year older. I love Lance McCullers Jr. I love the curveball. The baseball seams are up a little more than they've been in the past. That curveball is going to play. I'm a big Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier fan as well. I take the Astros, but I'm going to surprise people. I've got the Angels in second place and the A's in third, believe it or not.
So Jim and I agree a lot on the American League side of things, except for, you'll see in just a minute. I'm gonna start with the East. Yankees, gotta be the Yankees. They're just better than you in that division, let's be honest. Their lineup 1 through 9, they can bob you. It doesn't matter what order they put their players in. They're gonna score runs. Yes, question marks there for the rotation. I think they'll be fine in the regular season, but as Jim said, will they go out and get an arm at the trade deadline to help bolster the rotation once you get to the postseason? Because you need 2 or 3 good arms to get through a full postseason. Now moving to the Central, I still like the White Sox. I still like that lineup. I feel like they're the most complete team in the American League. I love their starting pitching, Giolito, Keuchel, Lynn. All 3 of those guys finished in the top 10 in Cy Young voting last year. Not many other teams can say that. They got Hendricks in the back end of the bullpen. They have a lot of power arms and power bats. It's a fun team to watch. And then moving out west, I still like the Astros. I do, and I agree with Jim on the Angels being better than the A's. The A's got worse this offseason. The Angels got better, did make the big splash. Their fan base wanted to go out and get another big arm to help that great offense they have. But hey, if you don't like the Astros pick here, crumple it up, throw it in the trash can.
Just throw it in the trash. All right, we're going to talk MVP now. Last year, the abbreviated 60-game season, the honor went to Jose Abreu. He was the 28th player to win both the MVP and Rookie of the Year in his career. So, Jim, who's going to be the AL's best of the best this season?
I'm going chalk here. I'm going with Mike Trout. He's still the best player in our sport. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to predict the Triple Crown for him. I'm going to say he wins the batting title, hits 50 homers, drives in 140, and gets yet another trophy for his mantelpiece. Look, I think he was a little bit humble last year. It wasn't his best year. He only stole 1 base last year, believe it or not. But he's going to benefit from a full year with Ohtani and Rendon around him in the lineup. People aren't going to pitch around him. You can't do it, not with that lineup there. And he squared up the ball a lot better this year. He changed his stance in spring training. He feels the best that he has in a long time. Technology is helping him. I got Mike Trout winning the award.
I got to go to New York. I like Aaron Judge. I think a healthy Aaron Judge is a top 5 player in baseball, one of the faces of the game. Now the caveat there, health. I get it. Aaron Judge has been hurt a lot, but when he's on the field, 50 homer potential, 280, He's going to drive in 110, 120 if healthy. If healthy, that's what we say about the whole team and the whole lineup for the Yankees. His protection is Giancarlo Stanton going to be healthy? That plays into how teams pitch Aaron Judge. I think health is there. They brought in Eric Cressey last year. He's a big strength and conditioning guy. He oversees all of their protocol there. I think he's going to be healthy, have a great year winning the MVP.
All right, we're going to do the same thing with Cy Young. Last year, it was the Indians' Shane Bieber. Jim, you going chalk on us again? Who's going to be the best pitcher in the AL this season?
I'm not going chalk, and I don't know how I can go against Shane Bieber and Garrett Cole, but I'm going to do it here with Lucas Giolito. Last 2 years, he's finished 6th and 7th in the Cy Young voting. He's got a White Sox team that's ready to go to the next level. He has elite stuff. We all know that with his fastball, his breaking ball, changeup. He's also great at baking. He makes great cupcakes, by the way, which it plays for me. But he's on a team where they've got the best bullpen in the game. They may not have the big names outside of Hendricks, but the rest of that bullpen with Crochet and Hoyer, Mitchell, they've got the best arms. They do, the bullpen. So if he leaves the game in 5 or 6, he's going to get that win. Defense is good behind him. He's going to get the run support here. So I'm going to go kind of outside of the box here and go Lucas Giolito in an upset.
I'm going to go even further outside the box. Hyunjung Ryu. Now, Jim, I don't know how his baking skills are. I have no idea how his cupcakes or his 3-layer cake is. No idea, but I know he knows how to pitch, and I know he has a much better offense behind him this year. He's going to pitch really well. He's had a low ERA the past 4 years in a row. We saw him pitch last year. He finished 3rd in Cy Young voting, quietly under the radar up there in Canada. I think he has another great year. This is a big value pick at 20-1 odds. So I think he has a good year, and that's a good bet to sprinkle a little on, see if it sticks.
Sprinkles, cupcakes, you guys are making me hungry right now. All right, before I let you go, I need your World Series picks. Who's going to go to the World Series and who is going to take home the title? Will, we'll start with you. Who you got?
Well, I gotta go with the NL. I gotta go with the Dodgers. How do you bet against the Dodgers? They have legitimately 7 starting pitchers that would be at least the top 3 in the rotation for just about every team in the league. Their offense is deep. They're just too good. They went out and spent the money. They got better. They're getting in. Now in the AL, I'm going against the Yankees here. I'm going to go White Sox. Like I said, I think they're the most complete team. They'll have Jimenez back hopefully by this point later in the season, and that makes them even better. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited to watch the White Sox this year.
When you're looking between the Dodgers and the White Sox, who's going to win?
Dodgers. Can't bet against them this year. They're too good. They're too good.
Jim, do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Will's nailed it. I mean, this is the best team in our sport, and it's by a lot, not by a little. Of course, you have to stay healthy, no doubt about it, but this rotation is so deep, and this is the only team in baseball history that walks into a season with 3 MVP candidates and 3 Cy Young candidates. Not even the 27 Yankees, 46 Red Sox, 75 Reds, and 98 Yankees can say that. So they're going to get back to the World Series. They're going to win it in 5 games over the Yankees. I trust that Brian Cashman will go get that one starter that he's going to need to get there. But I think this is the year the Yankees get back to the World Series. But I think the Dodgers, their big 3 starters at the top and their 3 MVP guys are just too overwhelming for me.
Winning 1 World Series is hard enough. There have only been 14 teams to win at least 2 in a row, so this will be an exciting watch. Now, Jim, as we get ready to open up this season on Thursday, what's one storyline that you're most excited to follow?
Excited? Okay, because I was going to say, let's hope it's not the vaccinations and COVID-19. You know, I think the biggest stories are these young up-and-coming teams, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Chicago White Sox. I think they've made so many moves that they're exciting. They've become postseason teams already. And in the National League, the San Diego Padres in the same kind of category there. So I think those 3 teams are going to bring a lot of balance to the sport, a lot of excitement. Those teams have a lot of energy, a lot of swag. And I think that's going to be a huge story we're going to follow all year long.
Well, what do you think?
And I got a quick one too. The Chicago Cubs, now they're down. They have a lot of guys at the end of their contract. Chris Bryant, Baez, Jock Peterson's on a 1-year deal. Rizzo, do they extend them? Do they trade them at the deadline if things don't go well? Could be exciting for other teams around the league.
Jim, Will, it was an absolute pleasure. I think it's safe to say that we're all very excited that baseball is back. Looking forward to chatting with you 2 all season long. And as we're getting ready, we're just 3 days away from the start of the 2021 MLB season. It's your time to get your fantasy teams in check. Be sure to tune into the Fantasy Baseball podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today. It's all your baseball needs answered. Download and follow the pod.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.